Hello, and thanks for joining me. Well, this is part 6 of the Buckboard Flyer build. If you haven't seen parts 1 through 5, be sure and check them out. This is a reproduction of a 1920 Briggs Stratton car. It's the second one I built. I'm really getting excited about it. This one's got updated wheels, an onboard motor, and overall a little bit beefed up in different places. Also, it's going to have rack and pinion steering, hopefully. But I'm getting excited about it. It's also got a torque converter style clutch, which is going to be really nice. Anyway, I was just mounting these seats here, and they're mounted on like standoffs. And I had bolts going up through it, and the seat clamped where I needed it, and then I went through the bottom to transfer the hole. Yeah, I'm glad I can see them. Transferred the holes where I'm going to drill down through the seat at a slight angle. Hopefully get the angle right, and then bolt the seats in place. I like it. Onto the steering and brake. Steering and brakes are important. Okay, let's get started on this steering column. This is a 1/2-inch water pipe. I'm going to put a couple of bushings in there. Don't know how I'm going to tighten that up in there, but I'll figure out something. And this is basically 1.25 inch cube. I'm going to drill a hole in that so it slips over that, and that's going to be a bracket to hold our steering column. And this is why I got a 4-jaw self-centering chuck. Super handy for doing stuff like this. Drilling holes in square stock. Probably get some button head screws. I didn't have any, but that'll mount to the base of the car and hold the steering column. 2, 3 turns, 1.5 turns each way. Seems to work okay. I was a little bit worried the arc of the steering arm on the steering knuckle down there is like that, so it's changing height like that, and I haven't got any, I don't know if you can see it, if I get the camera down there to see it or not. Rack and pinion is right there. It looks like I need to bring it down just a little bit to make it, damn it, not that far. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. If I don't have it in the right position, it's in a bind. But if I have it in the right position, it's only right for a certain part of the travel. Although that's working pretty good. You know, everything's loose. Something just slipped. Well, I think that's it right there. Seems like the rack and pinion's working okay. A little bit slow, 1.5 turns each way. But if I drill holes there, there's no turning back. The original Buckboard Flyer, the steering column went in about right there because it had a standard go-kart type steering. So I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if I drilled holes and had to modify it and move it forward. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to give up on the rack and pinion. There's a support that goes from here to here, and I got a feeling it's just going to be a little weak because it's supported so low on the steering column, be a long distance here. It'll be a lot more original looking with the steering column moved up about 4 inches there. It'll be more stable. That's a hard decision to make, but I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the proven design. The last car I made really worked good. The steering was a little quick on it, but totally usable. So new approach. Got to make an arm for that steering right there. Okay, the total travel on my car is, for the steering, is 5 inches. So it should be 2.5 inches from the center of this to the pivot point. I'm going to give myself 2 other options there to experiment with. That center one should be perfect though. Okay, I think I got the steering column where I want it. Well, I got to figure out a way to make this sleeve bearing fit tight in there. I think I'm going to bore it out and put this piece of metal in there. It's just a scrap I had. Weld it in, bore it out again to fit that bushing. It's going to be kind of thin wall, but I think if I weld it, it'll be all right. We'll see. That'll work. Okay, we've got to make an adapter to fit this steering wheel to a 1/2 inch column. That's 3/4. Okay, this is 1 inch, and I got to step it down to 3/4. So I need to go an eighth of an inch. Okay, got to cut a 1/4 inch key in here, 148 thousandths deep. Wow, that's tight. Probably won't ever need to take it off. That's definitely tight. Okay, let's try this rack and pinion. No, it's not going to work. This would have had to have been mounted back here, and that's not enough support for this area with this triangle here. Back to the original. There's probably a way to make it work, but I'm going to go with the original for now. Okay, drum roll please. Okay, now I got to think about a throttle, a brake pedal. Throttle first though, because the throttle is going to be on the steering column, and I need to be able to slip it on over the steering column before I put the steering wheel on. So, and I'm going to pin the steering wheel on, so it makes it kind of hard to get off. Well, let's make a brake pedal and throttle. I may change this design at a later date, but I think it'll work good. I'd rather have like a cable clamp on the brake itself, and I may make some. Right now I'm just going to put a loop in there with a typical clamp. The loop is going to, I guess after it breaks in, the loop won't be an issue. That loop will create like a sponginess. Well, we've done quite a bit of this episode. I can't wait to try it. I think that wraps it up for this week. I was going to try to get it running this week, but I ran out of energy. I don't have the parts. Need a throttle cable. I'm waiting on a throttle cable. That's the big thing. Next week we'll put the trim on the front of the seat, put the seat pads in, hook up the motor, the throttle, and give this thing a try. Gonna put fenders on it. There'll probably be one more episode after next week. I'm gonna put some finishing touches on it, like headlights. Be neat to have a rear view mirror, but I don't know where to put it. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this week. Thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.